A lack of affordable housing has impacted families, seniors, and young people just starting their adult lives, and housing insecurity is a problem that needs multiple solutions. Father Bills and MainSpring are reimagining their resource model to help meet this growing need, because nobody should be homeless.
We started in the early 80s. Different interfaith leaders in the greater Quincy and Brockton community, business leaders, people started to see people not just coming to their doorsteps and asking for food or maybe a blanket or utility help, but saying, I have no place to sleep tonight. And so our coalitions were created to really provide temporary shelter for families and individuals. In 2007, Father Bills and MainSpring were two separate organizations merged, and we decided that, we continually saw more and more families, more and more individuals across Southern Mass struggle with homelessness, and together we could do better and serve our fellow brothers and sisters. And we provide shelter for over 160 families a night, over 300 individuals a night, both in Quincy, Brockton, and the Plymouth community. And we also have over 700 units of supportive housing, permanent housing for families and individuals that had really struggled with homelessness for long periods of time.
We have 90 units of supportive housing in the Plymouth community. So that's 90 separate individuals that we support down here. Most of our participants in our program have their own apartment and have a case manager who works with them and the landlord to make sure they stay stably housed. And our participants, 93% of our participants are stably housed 3 years or more. So it's clearly it works. Permanent supportive housing works.
It's the morally right thing to do, is to give somebody a home. But we also know that for people, it's good business sense. It's good for the community. One of our fastest growing populations is our elders. We're seeing so many people on fixed incomes that can't afford the rising rents, and we're not building enough housing for people with fixed incomes. We've lost a lot of rest homes and nursing homes where people can't afford to get in them. And so places like Father Bills and MainSpring are seeing more people like that.
I've been working this for Father Bills for 19 years, and I've seen just the rents just skyrocket. That, frankly, I couldn't live in this community on my salary if I wasn't, dual income. If you just can't.
Massachusetts is one of the most expensive housing markets in the country. So one of the things we're doing is we're reimagining and changing our delivery model of our emergency shelter to not just be a bed and a meal and be open at night, but really it's about outcomes. So we're converting them to housing resource centers. These housing resource centers are not just a shelter, but they'll still have an emergency shelter component. We want to go and we want to start preventing people from ever having to stay in an emergency shelter, divert people when we can. Sometimes people just need a little bit of help to never have to walk into a shelter. And then if they do come in and they need that shelter, we want to rapidly rehouse them as quick as possible. We have so many people that are working that come in and maybe need first, last, and security, but can pay the rent that they found in an apartment. But they need thousands of dollars, $2,000 or $3,000 to put down, and they don't have it. We don't want them to have to sit in the shelter for 3 or 4 or 5 months and budget that in. We're gonna say, let's just help with that upfront cost. Let's solve the homelessness immediately, get you into that apartment, so we'll help you with those flexible resources. So our whole model is to engage upstream, to invest, and it's more cost savings. It's much more cost effective to prevent homelessness than it is to manage homelessness. And so we've got to be committed to preventing it. If people do become homeless, rapidly rehousing them. But at the same time, we do have that core group that we still got to be committed to developing more supportive housing. Thankfully, we've converted our model in Quincy. We've just built a brand new facility that's open 24/7. That's another thing. And the resource center isn't just for a shelter. We want licensed healthcare product in there. So we got the healthcare provider in there. We've got the behavioral health agencies in there. We want to have the community agencies that our guests need to utilize be on site and connect with them and help them move out of the situation that they're in. We'd love to bring that housing resource model to the Plymouth community next. And the misconception is people aren't looking for a handout, and they don't need a lot of help. They need a little bit of help. And so Father Bills in MainSpring is that safety net, right? We're that broker. We're not gonna judge you. You're gonna come in, that's our faith roots. We're gonna help you, and we're gonna see you move on and flourish. And, we see that, people say, well, John, how have you done this and been a part of this, tough work now for over 25 years? And I'm like, because every day I see we're changing lives one life at a time.
3, 2, 1. What? This is what? Who?
This is yours.
Oh my God. What? This is huge. Lisa. Holy shit. What? Y'all going to bed?
Yeah.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Yes. Hang no shoes on the bed, Joey.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I really, really love it.
I find hope every day. From the woman who was a Plymouth person, but she had to go to the Brockton shelter because she couldn't, her addictions were, really had taken hold of her life. We were able to house her back in her community in Plymouth, and she's now, able to got her license back. She bought a little car. She's able to, have part-time, employment, and she's able to make ends meet and have a community and reconnect with her family. Those stories really kind of keep me going with hope. It's also knowing that our mission is supported by the community and by our community members, whether it's the Plymouth Police Department, to the Center for Active Living, to the Plymouth Recovery Center. They know that what we're doing is trying to help people, and that we're just trying to, help those of us in our community who don't have the advantages that maybe some of us have had.
We have a great moment in time because we just passed the biggest housing bond bill the state's ever had. And in that, we've actually gotten some language that says we got to develop part of that $4 billion of investment over the next several years. We've got to also invest in supportive housing. So I hope that that we take this moment and we look at the capital that's coming, and we be very much where all the stakeholders in the community realize we've got this opportunity to invest in creating housing for our most vulnerable people that will be more cost effective to our communities, and it's the right thing to do for our people in our community. So in the next 5 to 10 years, I hope we take this opportunity and run with it and see how we can leverage the other resources that are needed to do the wraparound services to keep people housed. In our housing of our 700 plus units that are really geared for, our housing that we develop is really for that person that needs a lot of supports. The people that come to us that are working, we do the shelter just like our founders thought. It'd be like, you come in for a little while and you move on. The majority of families and individuals that come to us, that's what they need. They just need a little bit of help, and they come and they go. But you do have that 35% of the people maybe that we see that need more of a supportive housing environment. That's the group we've got to target, and we need the political will, and I hope people realize that.
Learn more about Father Bills and MainSpring at helpfbms.org.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button before you go. We'll see you next time.